It's a fear that has driven people to do some of the most bizarre, dangerous, and downright shocking things imaginable in a desperate quest for eternal youth. You won't believe how far some people were willing to go. Our story begins thousands of years ago. The ancient Egyptians, obsessed with the afterlife, perfected mummification not just to preserve the body, but to ensure the soul had a home to return to a form of eternal existence. Across the world in ancient China, emperors were on a similar but far more dangerous path. They sought elixirs of immortality, magical potions brewed by alchemists. The first emperor, Qin Shi Huang, famously sent expeditions to find legendary islands of immortals, all while consuming concoctions he believed would grant him everlasting life. But this is where the quest takes a dark and disturbing turn. What were in these so-called elixirs? Often, it was things we now know are deadly poisons. Many alchemists believed that because gold was a perfect and incorruptible metal, consuming it in liquid form would transfer those properties to the body. This led to people drinking potable gold, which was often just a suspension of gold particles. Even worse was the widespread use of mercury. Yes, the toxic heavy metal. Alchemists saw its liquid, silvery form as magical and life-giving. Emperor Qin Shi Huang is believed to have died from mercury poisoning, a victim of his own desperate search for immortality. The madness didn't stop there. If metals weren't enough, why not turn to the very essence of life itself? Blood. The most infamous example is Countess Elizabeth Bathory of 16th century Hungary. Legend paints a horrifying picture of a woman who believed bathing in the blood of women would preserve her own youth and beauty. While the full extent of her crimes is debated by historians, the legend itself speaks volumes about the desperate, grisly lengths people associate with the fountain of youth. These early attempts were all rooted in flawed logic, a misunderstanding of biology, chemistry, and the very nature of life. As we fast forward to the 19th and early 20th centuries, the alchemist's lab was replaced by the doctor's clinic. This was the age of rejuvenation science, a booming industry of dubious medical practices preying on the fears of the wealthy elite. One of the most famous and bizarre procedures was developed by a doctor named Serge Voronov. His solution to aging? Grafting slices of monkey testicles onto the testicles of human men. He claimed this would restore youthful vigor, energy, and libido. His clinics were incredibly popular, and for a time, he was hailed as a genius. Men flocked to him, paying fortunes to receive a bit of primate tissue, all based on the completely unfounded idea that it would turn back their biological clock. Of course, it was pure quackery, based on the placebo effect and a complete lack of scientific rigor. Another pioneer of this era was John R. Brinkley, the infamous goat gland doctor from America. He took Voronov's idea and made it $1 million empire, transplanting goat glands into men for the same supposed anti-aging benefits. He built his own radio station to promote his bizarre surgery, becoming one of the richest doctors in America before his entire operation was exposed as a dangerous fraud. These weren't isolated incidents. The era was filled with radium-infused water, electric shock therapies, and all sorts of pseudoscientific nonsense sold to a public desperate to believe that science had finally conquered old age. While the methods were different from drinking mercury, the underlying desperation and the deadly consequences were often the same. Leaving the charlatans of the past behind, we enter the modern era. Today, the conversation revolves around concepts that sound like science fiction. Take stem cell research. These are the body's master cells, capable of becoming any other type of cell. The theory is that we could use them to repair or replace damage, aging tissues, effectively rejuvenating our organs from the inside out. While stem cell therapy holds incredible promise for treating diseases, its use as a mainstream anti-aging tool is still highly experimental and unregulated in many places, leading to a new generation of stem cell tourism. Then there's gene therapy and the study of telomeres. Telomeres are the protective caps at the ends of our chromosomes, and they shorten each time a cell divides. This shortening is directly linked to aging. Scientists are exploring whether we can use an enzyme called telomerase to lengthen these caps, potentially slowing or even reversing the aging process at a cellular level. It's a fascinating field that could fundamentally change our understanding of life's limits. And for those who want to hedge their bets, there's cryonics, the practice of preserving a legally dead person at extremely low temperatures with the hope that future medical technology will be able to revive them and cure whatever ended their life. It's the ultimate gamble, a leap of faith into a future we can't possibly predict. So, what's next on the horizon? The truly eternal youth technologies being hypothesized today are mind-bending. Imagine mind uploading, where your consciousness, your memories, personality, everything that makes you you is scanned and transferred to a digital substrate. Your biological body could wither away, but your mind would live on forever in a computer, free from physical decay. Or consider synthetic biology, where we might one day be able to design and build biological parts and systems that don't exist in the natural world, organs that don't fail, cells that don't age. We could essentially re-engineer humanity to be ageless. These ideas push the boundaries of what it means to be human and raise profound ethical questions that we are only just beginning to grapple with. This brings us to the biggest question of all. Even if we could achieve it, is eternal youth truly desirable? At first, it sounds like a dream come true. Imagine having unlimited time to learn, to travel, to love. But think about the implications. Our planet has finite resources. Would eternal life be a luxury reserved only for the super rich, creating an immortal elite and a mortal underclass? And what about the psychological toll? Could our minds handle centuries or millennia of memories, of loss, of boredom? Would we lose our ambition, our drive, our very appreciation for life if we knew it would never end? The beauty of a sunset is partly due to the fact that it's fleeting. Perhaps the same is true for life itself. From ancient emperors drinking mercury to modern billionaires investing in cryonics, the methods have evolved dramatically, but the fundamental human desire remains unchanged. We are the only species on Earth that is acutely aware of its own mortality, and we have spent our entire history trying to escape it. The fountain of youth may not be a physical place, but a timeless idea that will continue to captivate and drive humanity for as long as we exist. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell.